What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon. MLB DFS video for Wednesday, October 16th and Thursday, October 17th. So for DraftKings, we can play a Wednesday game and a Thursday game. So the difference, the Wednesday game is the Dodgers game at the Mets tonight. But the Thursday game is only the Yankees at Cleveland. So it is not the Dodgers-Mets game tomorrow. So make sure when you're building your lineups, you're looking at those pitchers. So what we're going to do is we're going to break it down. We're going to look at the pitchers. We're going to look at any factors that may go into that. We are then going to give you the top plays at each position, depending on how many there are. There might not be very many. Then we're going to try to build a lineup. And then on top of that, I do have a bet for today that's a same game parlay for this Mets game. So I want to go through that. I want to talk about that as well. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've never been here before, hit the subscribe button. Like this video. Leave a comment on this video. Because if this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That is a week of every single sport. So a week of whatever MLB content we have out there. NBA next week once it starts. We've got NASCAR. NFL, PGA, MMA, we've got it all for you. So if you're new, check it out. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you have a chance at a free month of FTA+. 150 likes, a chance at a free $200 a year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. So let's dig right into this game. So 2 games, one today, one tomorrow. This includes the Dodgers, Mets, Walker Buehler versus Luis Severino. And then tomorrow, it includes Matt Boyd versus Clark Schmidt. Yankees are up 2-0. We've got some baseball. We've got baseball today that we really enjoy. So I wanted to break it down because this is one of the most requested videos because not a lot of MLB content is out there still. Now, anything can change. These are the current pitchers that are going. So let's jump into it. So let's look at the game today. So we got Walker Buehler on the road in New York. Now this is a pitcher's ballpark. It is a massive ballpark. And if we look at the ballpark rankings, the wind is blowing from left field in. So it is blowing left to right in. Again, it's a massive ballpark. And then at Progressive Field tomorrow, as of now, the wind is blowing directly in as well, which could give a boost to the pitching. Just depends. We've seen the weather be a concern. And then, like Stanton just hits an absolute piss missile. And the wind resistance is not a thing when some of these bats are up there. So, Walker Buehler, game logs against San Diego, his last start 8 days ago. Not good. 5 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 0 strikeouts, 1 walk, minus 5.6. Time before that, bad, 7.7. It's been a weird year for him. Obviously been hurt. 5.71 ERA is not ideal. It's very surprising that he is starting game 3. It's very surprising that he's starting a game 3, not coming in late or anything like that. On the flip side of that, you got Sevy. So Sevy comes in, having not faced the Dodgers this year, against Philly, which is a great hitting team. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 17.9 fantasy points. Again, if you're with us, we're looking at least 2.5 times value, but a minimum of 20 fantasy points there. But again, with the playoffs, with pitching, there's not a ton of targets that you can look at. So Sevy has not faced the Dodgers this year. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at our sponsor of this video, Outlier.bet. We're going to go out there. We're going to look at the games. We're going to break the games down. We're going to look at the pitching. We're going to look at the batters. We're going to look at the BVP. We're going to look at the batter splits. We're going to look at it all as a career. So if we take a look at career numbers overall for Severino and for Buehler, overall, Buehler, 87 plate appearances against this Mets team, 263 batting average. But he has not looked ideal this year. That is when his stuff was on. Then you got Sevy, 108 plate appearances against these current Dodgers players, a 235 batting average. He has done well against this team. Then we look at the next game, Yankees at the Guardians. We've got Clark Schmidt on the road, splits-wise. He's faced Cleveland once this year. 5 innings pitched, got the W in that. 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 7 strikeouts. He averaged 22.5 fantasy points, 1.80 ERA. Now there's a day in between these games, so the bullpens should be rested enough to go here. His last start against Kansas City, 4.2 innings. Obviously, you would love to see him further in there, but only 2 earned runs with 4 strikeouts, 10.9. His prices stayed the same. Kansas City was hitting just very well this season. Did not show up in this game or in this series for him. Splits-wise, when he's on the road, a 1.62 ERA in 9 starts compared to home 4.5. So I'm very curious if this was against Cleveland at home or in Cleveland. So it was at Cleveland. So 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. It was April 13th, so it was very early in the season. It was his third start of the year, his first start of his dominating starts before he ended up getting hurt and missing 3 months of the year. So the problem with him before he got hurt, he barely could get into the 6th inning. He has not gone into the 6th inning since May 16th. Obviously, he had a 3-month gap in between there, but that was against Minnesota. So that is the problem with him. Longevity is a problem. But at his price of $7,900, they're all basically right around the same price, except Buehler, which I will have a little bit of Buehler, but I do not trust him enough at all. Then you got Matt Boyd. Seen him before. I don't understand how he's done some of the things he's done. Faced the Yankees once this year. 5.1 innings, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, only 5.2 fantasy points, 5.06. When he faced them, was he with Detroit or was he with Cleveland? Let's see. August 20th. 5.1 innings at New York. I believe that was with Detroit. So we look at that. He didn't do anything. He does have a great ERA for the year, but it's just the Yankees have not hit lefties as well this season overall, and we are going to look at that when we go to Outlier. But let's take a look. So we're going to go to Outlier here. We're going to go to Games. We're going to move it over to MLB. We're going to go and move it to today. We'll look at this first. So we're going to go into match details, and this is where I really like it. I also forgot to mention, our NFL content will be out a little bit earlier this week. I have to go to a wedding on Saturday that I am in. So I'm going to try to put all of the content out on Friday, or I will schedule it to come out on Saturday, but there will be no content. I don't know if I'll have reception. This wedding venue is in the middle of nowhere. So if you have questions for NFL or MLB this weekend, get them into our Discord as early as you possibly can, because I do not know if I'll have reception. That being said, we are looking at this. So Sevy, this year has not faced the Dodgers. We look at in their career, Mookie Betts has a home run. Obviously, that came when he was with the Yankees, and Mookie Betts was with the Red Sox. You've got Max Muncy with 1 home run, batting .500, 1 for 2. That 1 hit was a home run. Teoscar Hernandez, 1 for 11 with 1 home run, and then Shohei Ohtani, 3 for 6 with a home run as well. These numbers are all when he was with the Yankees and Ohtani was with the Angels. Then we look at the Dodgers' bats against right-handed pitching this year. You can see it's kind of up and down. It depends on who's out there. You got Mookie Betts with 15 bombs, batted .280. You got Will Smith, 12 bombs, .244. Max Muncy had 10 home runs. Gavin Lux had 10 home runs. Freeman had 15 home runs. But again, if Freeman does not get a home run, most likely he's going to get a single. He's got a hurt foot that he can barely run on. They're still putting him out there because he's got defense, limited range. He's got the bat. But if he does not hit a home run, probably not getting any extra base hits unless something weird happens. So just FYI on that if you're paying up for that. Teoscar Hernandez, 22 bombs. You had Andy Paez, 10 home runs. Obviously, Ohtani hit righties way better. Batted .322 with 42 bombs as well. So those are the bats I would look at. But the Mets, the scrappy Mets, I don't understand how they're doing it, but they are. You got Pete Alonso against Walker Buehler, batting .357 and 14 at-bats with four home runs. You got Jesse Winker with 2 home runs. You got Francisco Lindor with 1 home run. These are all bats that I absolutely love today. As you can see, they're very up and down on how they hit lefties or righties. So Alonso on the year, 25 bombs against right-handed pitching. McNeil, 10 bombs. Lindor, 22 bombs. Vientos, 20 bombs. Brandon Nimmo, 19 bombs. Jesse Winker, 13. All of these bats are great bats. Now, with the Dodgers being down in this series, and Walker Buehler being as bad as he has been, I could definitely see him having a shorter leash than maybe what we're used to, and it just depends. So then they get to the bullpen early. That could spell disaster for the Dodgers. I honestly see the Dodgers losing this series. Never would in my wildest dreams at the beginning of 2 months ago, would I have said that Mets were even going to be in the playoffs, let alone have a chance to go to the World Series. The Dodgers, just the pitching. The offense, obviously we know the offense, but the pitching is going to be their Achilles heel in this one, I think. For sure. So we get out of this game. In that sense, I do not like Walker Buehler. I do like Sevy a little bit too. So then we get to the Yankees at the Guardians for Thursday. Clark Schmidt, as we said, has had success against Cleveland this year. And you've got, they think it's going to be Matt Boyd. I guess it's not been confirmed yet. Let's see if it's confirmed on the MLB app. Actually, it's not confirmed that it's going to be Matt Boyd yet. So we're kind of waiting on this. If it is Matt Boyd, I honestly don't like him. If it's someone else, if they're going to bullpen game, I don't know what the whole situation for Cleveland's going to be. They're obviously down 2-0. If they go down 3-0, anything can happen. So if the Cleveland starting pitcher gets down early, they're going to pull that and go to the bullpen early yet again for the third game in a row. So the Yankees got to just continue to pound on this one. So it's not 100% confirmed Matt Boyd yet. So that is definitely interesting, and I probably won't see it until day of and maybe a few hours before first pitch. So that game is actually at 4:08. So we should get a little bit of exposure there. But again, we can't worry about that now. But we got the Yankees bats. If it is righties, I mean, Austin Wells has struggled. This is true. Judge has struggled. Started to hit the ball very hard, at a home run there. He's hitting the screws of the ball, getting sack flies, getting on base there. Kind of pay attention. Rizzo's actually been on fire. Even with 2 broken fingers, he's actually been doing some pretty good things, which is exactly what we like to see. So he's a cheaper bat. They still have not priced him up. Obviously, Soto's a stud. Stanton's been on fire. Austin Wells has struggled. Birdie and Cabrera probably are not in there. Jazz has struggled, but he did have a double yesterday, but then he got immediately picked off. Their base running has been atrocious. So I am good with the Yankees. I mean, Glaber leading off has been absolutely on fire. So absolutely love Glaber. Love Juan Soto. I love Judge. I'm still riding that Judge train. Stanton is another one I'm looking at. Volpe's been getting on base. They've got some speed. It'll depend on who's the pitcher, but I do like the Yankees here as well. Now, Guardians against Clark Schmidt. Career-wise, no one's had a home run. Right-handed pitching-wise, they have hit well. Andres Jimenez is good. Jose Ramirez has struggled. He had a home run yesterday. Let's see if that starts to him going. Josh Naylor has struggled in the playoffs, had 25 bombs, 251 batting average against righties this year. He has put on a ton of weight. He is on that Pablo Sandoval diet. So I don't know if you've been watching, but compared to when he rocked the baby and then got rocked out of the playoffs in 2022 to now, he's put on a ton of weight. It's translated to the regular season. So far, it has not. But yeah, Stephen Kwan batted 280 this year. Lane Thomas has 11 bombs. Naylor had 25. Bo Naylor had 11. I don't know if I'd use him. Had a very hard time not letting pass balls go in 2 games ago. Brian Roquillo definitely gets on base as well. So they've got some scrappy players. It just hasn't worked out the first 2 games. So now, what we're going to do is we are going to give you the plays at each position. So in theory, I don't know if it's Matt Boyd. It has not been confirmed yet. So honestly, I've got Sevy at number 1 right now against the Dodgers, which is a wild concept that I never thought I would think. But here we are. We've got number 2, Clark Schmidt. Number 3 is whoever the Cleveland pitcher is. We're still waiting on them. If it is Matt Boyd, it's Matt Boyd. If it's not, it might be someone else. Number 4 is Walker Buehler. I do not trust Walker Buehler. If I make 20 lineups, Walker Buehler will be in a couple of them just because no one's going to be on him. He's 6,500, but if the Dodgers go down early, I think they pull Walker Buehler pretty early in this one. So we are looking at the catching position. Number 1, I've got David Fry. He's first base and catcher eligibility, so we've got him there. Number 2, I've got Francisco Alvarez. Number 3, I've got Austin Wells, who has struggled. Number 4, I have Will Smith here. So we've got Will Smith there. Moving to first base. Again, we know Ohtani is there, but for the sake of the video, we're going to put Ohtani in the outfield. So number 1, I got Freddie Freeman. Number 2, I've got Pete Alonso. Has great numbers against Walker Buehler. Number 3, I've got Anthony Rizzo. Number 4, I've got Kike Hernandez. And number 5, I've got JD Martinez. Also, he has outfit eligibility, but for this, we'll go with him for first base. We'll move to second base. Gleyber Torres at the top. Got him number 1. Number 2, I've got Jose Iglesias. Number 3, I've got Andres Jimenez. 4, I've got Gavin Lux. Gavin Lux is day-to-day. I don't know if he will play. That is definitely something to look at. So if Gavin Lux is out, number 4, I will have Jeff McNeil. And that's really the only second baseman. You could maybe look at Chris Taylor, but he also has outfit eligibility if we need. Third base, we've got J-Ram, Jose Ramirez. I've got him number 1. Number 2, I've got Jazz. Number 3, I've got Max Muncy. 4, actually, you know what? I'm going to move it. So 1, Ramirez. 2, Mark Vientos. 3, Max Muncy. 4, Jazz Chisholm. And 5 is Kike Hernandez if we're not using him at first base. Then we move to the shortstops. Lindor is number 1. I don't think that's a surprise. Number 2, I've got Volpe. Number 3, I've got Edman. Number 4, I've got Brian Riccio. And then we move to the outfield. Number 1 is Ohtani. That's not a surprise to anybody. Number 2, I've got Juan Soto. 3, I've got Mookie Betts. 4, I've got Aaron Judge. 5, I've got Stephen Kwan. 6, Giancarlo Stanton. 7, Brandon Nimmo. 8, Teoscar Hernandez. 9, Lane Thomas. And number 10 is Starling Marte. So if you want to see all of these rankings, you want to see everything, that is part of FTA Plus. You can go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. $10 for a week will get you every sport, everything we offer. $30 for a month will get you everything for 1 month for $30. And anyone who signs up for $30 for the monthly pass, today only, I will give you a free month on top of it. Everyone who signs up today will get a free month for $30. So for $30, you get 60 days, which is obviously fantastic. So that being said, those are the rankings. That is the breakdown with pitching, the ones we currently have. Now let's build a lineup here that we can feel comfortable with, that we can actually, build around. So a Thursday, Friday line, or a Wednesday, Thursday lineup, I've got, and it's kind of crazy to think about, pitching wise, I'm going Schmidt, I'm going Sevy. I like those 2 matchups there. I still am a believer in Austin Wells, unless it's Matt Boyd. If it is, I'll probably switch this up a little bit. First base, I've got to go Pete Alonso. His numbers are fantastic against Buehler. We looked at those. Iglesias makes a lot of sense. But if after the end, if we can get Gleyber in there instead, I will go with Gleyber. Third base is Mark Vientos. I mean, Ramirez is so much more expensive. Shortstop is Volpe. We're going to save a little bit of money off Lindor. We'll see what we can do. Outfield, got to go with outfield. I think Aaron Judge brings it. So we're going to go Aaron Judge. Looking at Nimmo, I like the Mets against Walker Buehler. And then after that, we've got, you can go Marte at 3,400. You go Jesse Winker if you want to save a little bit more money, and by that it's $100. You Verdugo, it just depends on who the pitcher is. So for instance, let's take out Iglesias. Let's go with Gleyber. Now we're at 4,000 for an outfielder. We can go Edman against Sevy, but we don't want to do that. You can go Marte. You can go other positions as well. You go Jeff McNeil if he gets in there. I don't mind that. You got Chris Taylor if you're not going with Sevy, or if you want to take one batter against Sevy. I completely understand. So for this instance, I'm going to go with Jesse Winker. Brings us a little Mets stack. We got a Yankee stack as well. Then we got our pitchers. So that right there is one lineup that I'm going to build. Okay. Now, looking at the next position, we're going to look at a little bet that I like. So this is just a Wednesday bet. It's a little, it's a plus 1,000. And the only one that I'm a little bit weary on is Walker Buehler, but let's take a look. So the bet that I like, so $10 to win $110. So $10 to win $100. Very small. Should be doable. Really, we'll see. But I've got Kike Hernandez for 1+ hit. I've got Teoscar Hernandez for 1+ hit. I've got Pete Alonso 1+ hit. I've got Walker Buehler with 4+ strikeouts, which we could see if we look at Walker Buehler and we look what he's been able to do game log wise. No strikeout. He's not hit that in the last 2 games. That's the only problem. So this was one that maybe he gets 4 little strikeouts before he gets absolutely ran out of the game. We've got Luis Severino for 4+ strikeouts, and then we got Shohei Ohtani for 1+ hit. So if you wanted to pump these numbers up and you wanted to change a little bit, you could go Pete Alonso over 1.5 bases. You could go Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 bases. Teoscar Hernandez over 1.5 bases, whatever you want. Or you could go Pete Alonso for a home run. Now, the odds of that are obviously astronomical. Not astronomical, but they're up there compared to other things. So that's the bet. That's the pitching and the hitting. Those are the rankings. That is one of the lineups that we built. If you want to see everything else, you check out FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. You can also come ahead and go down to our Discord, which is in the description of this video, which is absolutely free for you. And if you have not already signed up for Outlier.bet, sign up today. You get a 7-day free trial. Anyone who signs up for Outlier, we're going to give you a week free of FTA Plus today only. So make sure you check it out. So that's what I've got in this video. Hopefully it found you doing well. Hopefully you guys have success. Let's have some fun and let's bring home some bacon today. Peace.